Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be an all signs reading. I always set the intention of whoever needs the reading most, connect me with their energy, and we'll just roll with it. Okay, so this really can be for anyone. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. This is just, there is no set spread for this. We are just going to be taking 6 cards across, clarifying them, and just kind of going along with it. Okay. The retrograde is absolutely beating me right now. I just filmed an entire video before this, and there was no sound in the entire video. So this is take two. I hope that the sound on this one is actually here. It says that my microphone is recording. So fingers crossed. Let's get into it, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Bottom of the deck is our challenge. We've got the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, some of you guys have a new connection coming in here. Okay, Ace of Wands is like new passion. Ten of Pentacles is longevity. It can be like the family unit card, but it is also like, you know, when you think of the happy ending, but more so in the physicality part of the happy ending, like, oh, I have the house on the hill with the 2.5 kids and the dog, you know. And the Eight of Wands is communication. The star is also behind it. So I feel like for some of you, the the name Brit just came through. Brit could be short for Brittany. Brit, maybe you're. The only other thing I think of is maybe you're from Britain if you're watching this. I really don't know. But I feel like for some of you, the way I'm hearing it with the star is like your manifestations are finally they're taking root is what I want to say here. You know, I feel like they finally you've sent it out, you've planted the seeds, and now they're really starting to grow and they're going to prosper here, which is great. I just feel like you are going to be a little freaked out here. You're going to be a little scared. Okay, so let's talk about it. You start with the King of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So, right off the, excuse me, Nine of Swords. I didn't mean to say Ten of Swords. So, right off the bat, I do feel like what is kind of funny about this connection is that this person is going to be showing up as very put together. Okay, I love the King of Cups in a reading, especially if the reading is leaning more towards like a romance reading, because the King of Cups is emotion management. You know, Queen of Cups is emotional depth. King of Cups is like, can I withstand the waves? You know, am I able to withstand this level of emotion? And the King of Cups can. You know, when he is in their power, obviously gender and energy have no place with one. Anyone can be a King of Cups, you know. But when we are in our power, in a King of Cups energy, we are showing up emotionally thoughtful. We're showing up emotionally regulating. You know, we have emotional intelligence. It's a really, really good boding card. You know, it's a very good omen, especially in like a romantic or any sort of new passionate adventure. The King of Cups is a great companion here. The Nine of Swords, on the other hand, is you freaking out a little bit, okay? I feel like some of you are kind of afraid of love, afraid of commitment here. Commitment phobia is coming through. Yeah, you've got the Hermit and Death. I feel like a lot of you are being called to kind of work on this before this person shows up. Like, I feel like some of you, things could be moving a little slow right now, or like, it feels like I almost want to say quicksand. You know, it feels like you may be feeling like you're in some murky waters. Things are really slow. I'm trudging along. But I feel like with the death card here, the Hermit, and that Two of Wands, I feel like your guides really need you to be at a standstill right now. I really do feel like they're telling you, okay, sit down and prepare for this. You know, it's one thing to order something that we want, but it is a wholly other different thing to then receive it. Um, and I feel like for a lot of you, this person that is coming in for you, you're going to think that they are too good to be true. You know, you're going to think like, okay, this is a joke. Am I being punked? Like, what's going on here? And I feel like with Death and the Hermit, a lot of you have been called to reevaluate not only your relationship with yourself, but who you are, like down to a core cellular level. What do you like? Who are you? What's your authentic expression look like? What's important to you? What are you passionate about? What are you looking for in this partner? You know, I feel like a lot of you are, the way I'm hearing it is like changing your list. You know, I feel like for some of you, you had a list of I don't want to say, I'm hearing the word qualifications. I'm going to say qualities that you were looking for in a partner. Or maybe you had qualifications at one point and now it's changed to, well, I want these qualities. You know, I don't think of things as qualifications. I think of things as like, you know, I need that quality in a person. I need a good moral compass. You know, that's a quality in someone. What's their morals like? That's really big for me and that's really important for me. But it's, you know, I guess you could call it a qualification, but for some of you, I think you had qualifications that were a bit. I'm gonna slam you a little bit here, a bit shallow in the beginning. You know, oh, they need to be taller than me. You know, a lot of it was just things that were surface level, and I feel like you guys have moved beyond that. You know, I feel like a lot of you are recognizing now, like, okay, that doesn't really mean anything because the surface reflects the inside. If you're ugly on the inside, you're ugly on the outside. Yeah, Three of Wands, Four of Cups. I feel like especially for some of you too, you're almost like bored of the dating arena. Yeah, Eight of Cups. I think a lot of you, the lovers, yeah, the lovers came out with the Eight of Cups. I think a lot of you have kind of walked away from casual dating right now, or walked away from either the people in your area, the dating arena in your area, because it feels like everyone, it's so funny this is coming out for you guys because I was just talking about this with my friend the other day. Everyone just feels kind of surface level right now for you. You know, it's like you go on a date and you ask someone a really deep question and their follow-up question is like, oh, well, like, do you like clowns? Babe, what? You know, I feel like some of you guys are in this place of like, okay, if nobody is doing it for me, temperance, I'll wait. You know, it's like that teacher voice. Okay, I'll wait. Temperance is literally patience. And in the challenge, I feel like y'all are getting a little impatient. Yeah, but you know, ultimately, what's gonna make you happy is not what is being presented to you right now. And so kudos on you for waiting because I do feel like it's gonna pay off. You know, it looks really good. Three of Wands and the Emperor. Come on, babe. The Emperor, especially if you're looking for divine masculine, like if I'm reading for the feminine, you know, you're looking for the Emperor, which is the highest form of the divine masculine. You know, he is all of the kings combined. Obviously, he doesn't have to be a he, as we all know. You know, but it feels like you're waiting on someone that really has their shit together. You're waiting on someone that really checks the boxes for you. And it feels like it's coming in, babe. You know, I feel like okay, this is kind of random. Some of you have a vacation coming up. Or like you're traveling, you may be like leaving the place you live in for a short period of time. Don't discount people that are at a distance from you, is what I'm hearing. Okay? Allow yourself to be fun, flirty, imaginative. You know, I don't know why that's coming through, but that's coming through, okay? Don't shut someone out just because maybe they live a little far from you. Yeah, you have the Seven of Wands in the reverse, the Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. I feel like for a lot of you, the challenge here of why, part of why you're also kind of spending time with yourself is learning to become vulnerable again. You know, I feel like for some of you, you've spent so long. It's like the way my guides are saying this is kind of interesting. Like mid inhale, like in the I don't know what they mean by that. Like maybe you've just been paused. You know, if you're like, and then you just sat there. It's almost like you guys have spent a lot of time in suspended animation here. And I feel like it's caused you to become a little bit closed off. A little bit like, no, I'm good, thank you. And so it's like my guides are saying this. They're like, okay, if you want love, prove it. And so I feel like that's why some of you have been spending time with yourself lately. Because I feel like you're learning how to be authentically you and be open to someone who wants the authentic version of you. Yeah, Seven of Cups. I feel like some of you also have dealt with, like, not feeling chosen before. Like, why is nobody choosing me? Nine of Pentacles. And the King of Cups, babe, because the right person hadn't shown up yet. You know, this is really, really, it truly is a beautiful reading, okay? Because a lot of your worry here of, like, why no one showed up for you is just, quite frankly, because the right person was not around. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing odd about you. You know, we all are quirky. We all have things that are not, they may be odd to someone else, but they're normal to us. You know, I've been told I look like a Hot Topic manager, and my room looks like I'm a manager of justice. You know, like, there are quirky things about all of us, but I promise you, babe, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You are perfectly fine just the way you are here. Okay? You don't need to worry about whether or not you're the common denominator because you haven't met someone. A lot of people haven't met someone, babe. Okay? The world is a little chaotic right now. Give yourself some grace here. Okay? Yeah, Judgment, Ace of Pentacles. For some of you also, it feels like, how do I say this? Do not entertain things from the past if you are trying to call something from the future in. Okay? For a lot of you with Judgment and the Ace of Pentacles, you may be energetically hanging on to someone from the past, and that's causing some friction with what wants to come in for the future. Okay? You need to let go of these past relationships, but also grieve them in the process. Okay? When we don't grieve a relationship that's over, that's when we kind of energetically hold on to it, and that's when it doesn't really leave our sphere. Yeah, Three of Swords, bottom of the deck, heartbreak and devastation. Babe, you have to process this so you can let go of it. Okay? Can I get one more, please? Thank you. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. It is going to be hard work. Eight of Pentacles is like hammer to chisel. Or excuse me, chisel to stone. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, the Eight of Pentacles is him, like, hammering away at the pentacle on a workbench. That's you, babe. That's what you're doing right now. The more time you spend getting to know yourself, the better, because we can only meet people as deeply as they've met themselves, right? So if you're looking for someone who, I always use the pool analogy, if you're looking for someone here who's met themselves in the 10-foot deep section of the pool, but I'm splashing around in the kiddie pool, who's in the 10-foot section? Not me, babe. I haven't met myself in the 10-foot section. Okay? You need to meet yourself in the 10 feet section in order to know yourself at that depth, to then meet someone who will be at that depth with you. Okay? Because you got the Ace of Pentacles here and the Eight of Swords. I am also encouraging you to look at things a little bit differently here. Okay? Eight of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles. You're not being held captive. Okay, a lot of you feel trapped here, but I promise you, Chariot in the bottom of the deck, you have power. Okay, you have the ability to move. You have the ability to, excuse me, change something. You know, you have the ability to kind of shape your world. You're a co-creator of your own destiny here. Okay, you don't have to be a woman of the cloth while you're waiting for this person. Okay, you're allowed to go out, you're allowed to have fun, mingle, go clubbing, do whatever it is that you want to do here. Not everyone loves going clubbing. Some people go to a rave, some people want to go to a piano bar, some people want to go rock climbing. There's so many different things that you can go out and do and experience the world instead of just sitting on your own two hands. Okay, I'm really encouraging you to go out. Go out and live a little bit here. Yeah, the Hierophant, the connection that you are looking for will show up when you are deeply committed to yourself. Okay? Knight of Wands, King of Wands. They will show up when you least expect it. I know that's a horrible, everyone hates hearing that, but I feel like that's what's coming through. I'm not going to lie to you. Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant. I feel like when you guys are in the middle of taking care of yourselves, in the middle of prioritizing yourselves, living your lives, all of a sudden this connection just kind of crops up and you're like, oh, wow. I actually just heard really loud. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. But I do feel like, again, you're going to be a little afraid. This person is going to trigger you a little bit. You know, they're going to highlight some spots in you where you are still not settled within yourself. Yeah, Six of Swords and the Devil. They're going to really encourage a lot of healing within you, whether they do it on a verbal level or a subconscious level. Either way, they're going to be a very strong driving force for your healing here. But and justice, this may lead to marriage for some of you. But I do feel like you're going to be uncomfortable. Anytime we are in the process of getting uncomfortable for the first time, it's not fun. You know, it's quite literally uncomfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I mean here? And so I feel like this person is really going to, Four of Swords, yeah, they're going to cause a lot of healing. Queen of Cups, but a lot of like deep healing. Queen of Cups is like your emotion, your emotional depth. And I feel like it's going to freak you out a little bit here. This person's also going to understand you on a very deep level is how I'm hearing it. Like, they may have a very similar backstory to you, and they may quite literally understand you very, very well. And with that Eight of Swords, again, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords. Get out of your head here, babe. You don't have to overthink this connection. You will know. When the right connection presents itself, we do know. Intuitively, you will feel it. Okay? This is shaping up to be like a really, really beautiful connection for you. All right? You just have to, I almost want to say, like, roll with the punches right now. You know, like, allow yourself to get to know yourself better right now. Figure out where your healing still needs to take place. And then venture out into the world. But I also feel like it's really important for you to remember that you're not trapped here. You're not a prisoner here in the waiting game. You can go out, live your life, enjoy your world, you know, have pleasure. This is not a, you can't do anything until this person shows up kind of energy, you know? But, okay. Let's get you an oracle card. We are using the Angelarium today. It's a reimagining of the Falling of the Angels. Absolutely love that. But let's see. Can I get one, please? Thank you. Interesting. You guys got the Destroyer. Ananiel. Ananiel? I don't really know how to say these names, if I'm being honest. I'm just trying my best. I'm using my English major brain. So this is his persona after the fall of the angels. It's also 8. The number is 87 for those of you that are into numerology. Okay. There is an urge inside all of us to watch what we've built get destroyed. It's not always the correct choice, but all things come to an end eventually. It might be time to wipe the slate clean. There may be an opportunity to indulge in smashing something apart. Interesting. I almost feel like that's the older versions of you that are ready to be let go of here, okay? All right, guys. I will end the collective there. That is your reading for today. As always, if this reading resonates with you or my reading style does resonate with you, do consider liking and subscribing. Excuse me, we just hit 100 subscribers. We are on the road to 200 now, which is exciting. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch, reading tarot. We do collectives as well as personals. So you can catch me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. So I hope to see you over on Twitch, and if not, it's okay, because I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!